Hello, and welcome to another video game story time with me, Sky Fellowship. And today's video, it's not going to be a trauma dump or anything, it's hopefully supposed to be a funny story, but it's one of these other things where the more and more people get to know me, the more and more they wonder how I'm so well adjusted, and I'm really not. I think I hide it well. But this is going to be one of those stories where every time I've ever told this to anyone, it has shocked the ever-living fuck out of them. And I would like to know, this is one of those where I need to ask, post in the comments if you had a scenario like this in your life, if you had this kind of place in your life, because I can't be the only one. I can't be. So, I'm going to say, first up, I don't know how I ever used to play this game on the N64. Duke Nukem 64. I've already said first up, but I need to also make it clear I'm not like glorifying Duke Nukem. I fully get it's problematic. From a gameplay standpoint, I do still like the game, but I don't play it anymore. This is only on for the purposes of this video. I really don't think the humor is aged well. The amount of awfulness with sexism and stuff, there's so much that's problematic in this fucking game these days. And even more problematic from the standpoint of how old I was when I played it, which that's basically what today's story is. And all I can do, I'm going to call the episode Swap Shop, because that's what the store was called. There's a lot of ground to cover here. This is essentially 3 stories in one, but one of them, it needs to be its own separate video, so I'm only going to touch upon it a tiny bit. As much as I used to play the fuck out of this on the N64, which, by the way, I don't even know how. I think that's what I was in the middle of starting to say. The controls of this game are so bad. I've been playing a lot of N64 stuff recently, and Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, like, I'm really, really still good at those games, because the controls are just ingrained into my brain. I don't know how I ever played Duke Nukem, because at best, I'm having to play it on a left-handed control scheme so that my right analog is look around and my D-pad is move, which then means all of my buttons to frickin' do anything are miles away from the rest of the things that I'm touching. But it's because if I put it onto any other control setup, it's even worse. There's like no way to look up or down. You walk on the left analog and it's like move forward and turn. Strafe is C left and C right, and then look up and down is up and down on the D-pad. I don't know how I ever used to play this game, let alone be decent at it, let alone be able to play the multiplayer and wallop my friends, like shrinking them the shrink ray and stepping over them. It also means that this footage is just going to be all over the place because of how much I'm struggling. But anyway, time to get on with the actual story. If you've watched the Resident Evil 4 Second Chance video that I put up, you'll already know a little bit of this, but I do need to cover some ground. When I was 10 years old, my older brother's skeevy friend, at least everyone said he was a skeevy guy, he was actually always super bass with me, super nice. I think he was neurodivergent and didn't realise it, because, I didn't even realise I was at the time. We basically had a language that we spoke to each other in, and part of it was games. And when I was 10 years old, he brought Resident Evil round, the original Resident Evil on the PlayStation. He's like, I really think you'll love this. So this adult, who's like, I think 19 years old at that point, maybe 18 years old, brought me round an adult-rated game. Well, to be fair, it was 15. A 15-rated game. And I played the ever-living crap out of it. It's one of my all-time favourite franchises. And I'm really glad that I actually did that, because it turned out to really save my ass. At least partially save my ass, because part of it was a prank. So enter the swap shop. First time I ever went in there, my older brother took me in, and he's like, look around, see what you want, because I had pocket money to spend, and I settled on the Die Hard trilogy, which that was an 18-rated game. Now, I'm with an adult, so all I need to do is hand him it. I'm assuming he knew that this was going to happen, because he's just like, yeah, just go get it. So I walked up to the counter, and the woman who used to run it, I'm not going to use any names or anything, because there's a lot of breaking the law about to happen, as you can probably tell. And the statute of limitations should be up for all of this anyway. I'm 38, and at the time I was 10, and one of these stories I was 11. So all of the statute of limitations should be up. But at the same time, I would never want to actually get these people in trouble, because I really, really like them. Not the first year, because the first year I walk up to the counter with Die Hard, and chain smoked all the time. This was not a safe environment for children. Not even fucking close. Kids should not have been in this fucking store, but is as long as you were on the like pre-approved list, you were fine. But at the time, I was not. And this is why I assume my brother understood this and was setting me up, because I woke up and she's like, what the hell do you think you're doing? I can't sell you this. And it's like, okay, I am with an adult. And she's like, yeah, but I need to call the cops now because he didn't come up to the counter, you did. Like, what the hell were you thinking? Why did you think I would sell you this? Like, do you want me to lose my fucking shop? Do you want me to lose my... Like, she went full on. I was sitting there terrified. I'm like, the colour was draining from me. The entire thing was so fucked up. And then she immediately started pissing herself laughing. It's just like, gives you money. It's like, what? And it's like, gives you fucking money. It's, oh, okay, I'll give you my money. There you go. It's just like, right, ring you up. Bam, I hope you enjoy it. And it's like, thank you. It's like, I'm very confused. And it's just like, yeah, I have a feeling that even if you didn't buy it, as you say, your brother would have. It's just one of those. Do I need to give you the speech? And I'm like, I've played through all of Resident Evil. And she immediately had a shocked look on her face. And she's like, really? And I'm like, okay, so you start the game with either Jill or Chris. I went through the entire fucking thing. I went through all of Resident Evil to prove that I knew that game inside and out. And she was just like, okay, you are definitely on the pre-approved list then. So yeah. And it's like, okay, thank you. But cut to Duke Nukem. So the story that I need to make into its own video is how I lost my N64. Because as much as I played the crap out of the N64 version, that was always around my friend's house. It was playing against his brothers, his friends as well. And I played the crap out of the game. So I was 11. I didn't know shit about shit. I didn't, like, all I cared about was the fact that the gameplay was good. I didn't realize it was problematic. I didn't care about any of that stuff at the time. So I was just a dumbass kid. So I found out that it was available on the PlayStation. And this was when I first discovered, on a technicality, the Game Boy, I guess, was the first time I discovered it, that PlayStation ports and N64 ports were actually very different from each other, and the N64 had a bunch of levels that I really, really love that weren't in the PlayStation version, and it always annoyed me once I found that out. Because the PlayStation version did actually have some things I liked about it a little more, but at the same time, I was missing, specifically the mission was called Dark Side of the Moon, and I absolutely loved it, and it just wasn't there. But I enter the swap shop, I pick Duke Nukem up, and she's nowhere to be seen. I feel a little rude just using her pronouns, but again, I don't want to use her name, so she's nowhere to be seen. However, the store still absolutely stank of cigarette smoke, and trying to remember to use the word cigarette when that's not the word we use over here has already made me re-record this video once. So she used to chain smoke, as I say. The entire store still stank of smoke. But it was actually a totally different person on the counter. It was a guy I'd never seen before. And I walk up to the counter, and he's just like, I'm not sure I'm allowed to sell you this. And I'm like, I'm on the pre-approved list. And it's like, yes, everyone says they're on a pre-approved list. She's really busy. How much do you want this game? And it's like, okay, here we go again. So first up, I told him everything about Resident Evil. Second up, I told him everything about Duke Nukem and how the fact that I'd played the ever-living shit out of it around my friend's house on the N64. I don't know if this was essentially passing his skill check or if he was just so sick of me talking at that point because of the type of autistic I am. I will talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. That's just the way I am. And I've met people who genuinely get annoyed with how much I talk, and I always warn people, I am a talker, and I really do mean that. I will talk the ever-living shit out of you, and I've said that like 5 times in this video. It's the product of having to re-record. I end up getting stuck on a certain loop or something. But anyway, I will talk all day, and I don't know if I just annoyed him. Oh, I actually wanted to say, but when I actually do find other autistics like me who talk like me, it's kind of funny because it's like those whole AI, firstly, fuck AI, it's like those whole AI vids where they're talking their own language. Yeah, that's basically my kind of autism. When we, what the fuck? Oh my god, I've not missed this many shots in anything in a long time. So when I find other people like me, it really is a case of I'll talk for an hour, they'll talk for an hour, I'll talk for an hour, they'll talk for an hour, and we'll constantly be absorbing everything. We really will. It's not a case of we're just talking for the sake of talk. This is just how we communicate. So I don't know, as I say, if he was just sick of how much I'd waffled on. He was starting to ring me up, and then she finally gets done with what she was doing. I'd apparently stalled just long enough. She walks in, she immediately lights up multiple cigarettes at this point because she wanted. I think she chain smoked one and then immediately had another one prepped that day. I think she must have been doing stressful stuff out back, but she was like, "Oh yeah, they're on the pre-approved list. It's absolutely fine." And like, because straight away, as much as he was ringing me up, he immediately, as soon as he clocked her, it's like, "Hey, pre-approved list, yes or no?" And it's like, "Yeah, pre-approved list, pre-approved list." It's one of those that I now need to ask you because I've probably got other stories, but once it had happened twice, by that point, I kind of knew everyone in the store, so everyone knew I was on the pre-approved list. But is it just me who had this kind of fucking skeevy second-hand shop where you go in, it's totally not a safe environment for children, and at the same time, you're kind of allowed to do whatever the fuck you want? Every single time as I start the video that I tell people more and more about my childhood, it absolutely stuns them. Because, yeah, I fully admit it and fully agree. I had such a fucked up childhood. But with that out the way, seeing as I'm completely lost and can't remember where the fuck to get the blue key card from, because I know you get the blue one, because that blows up the building, and then the building gives you the yellow one. I can't remember exactly what I'm doing wrong looking for the blue one, but I also don't care, because I'm never going to play this again. How did I even ever play this again? Seriously, the D-pad to move, the analog to do that, and yeah. But I think that is finally the video done, so I'm going to see it. Once again, if you do have any stories, please do let me know, because I cannot be the only person who had this kind of shop in my life. I absolutely can't be. There has to be other shops out there that were just like, I don't give a fuck that you're a child, and I don't give a fuck how much of the law we're all breaking by doing this. It's one of those. What I will say is, none of these games ever really affected me. Like, the trauma and shit that I had in my upbringing and all of the other stuff that happened even earlier definitely did, but the games, they were just fine. Like, I didn't care about the gratuitous violence or anything like that. I'm literally a pacifist. I don't hit people, so it's not as if it turned me into a violent person. If anything, it taught me that I need video games. Well, I say need, like I need. I can use video games to actually get out frustration, anger, and any reason that I would want to actually punch someone. So they're actually really helped. Just being able to be violent in the game helped me be non-violent in real life. So yeah, until the next time, this has been Sky Fellowship, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!